Mike Gill, State of Corruption. FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation. The president has called them treasonous. I'm telling you, with hard evidence, that they are. What does FBI stand for? Well, the F is for fidelity, meaning loyalty. B is in bravery, and I is integrity. That's on the FBI website. That's the description of themselves. Really? Now, I've given you pieces and blocks in these last few videos. And you remember the block that I gave you nominated by the president. That was U.S. Attorney Lullen in Massachusetts. Now I want you to go back to that video, and I've linked it to this, where I've photographed all the evidence that Attorney Lullen was given. Completely conclusive. It would show the corruption in the IRS. We had a recording of Tim Campus, the highest level of the IRS, Tom Morley, the mailing fraud. They had an accountant that never worked for me get me my mail. All right? You hear them say they have a plan in my office. This should be national news. This is the highest level of the IRS, organized and constructed by Bill Shaheen and his senator wife, Jean Shaheen. This should have her arrested. Along with, we gave them the information from all those law firms that are now suing me, that I was suing them, and they had Liberty Mutually put spies in my company. The law firm that was representing me, Morris Mahoney, absolute clear that they had a conflict with Liberty. They were their biggest offender. Okay? Now I gave them originals. Now you've seen me give them originals. Now I know a lot of you were concerned about those originals. But if you're going fishing, you need to put bait on a hook. And they wanted those now. We're in the past, and you will see a composite on how many times I've been to the FBI in Bedford, New Hampshire. FBI agent Hasselbecker. And you know what they did with that information? They mailed it back. You've seen how many times I've knocked on that door. I even brought a chair one time and stood outside that door when there was a parking lot full of cars and people who worked for the FBI. You've seen me go to the U.S. Attorney in Bedford, New Hampshire, again, who represents and prosecutes the case of the FBI. I asked him if he wanted the name of the courier from New Hampshire to New York who were working for AutoFare and transferring money and drugs. He goes, no thanks. Farley, that's right. And you heard me in telephone conversations talking to them. And you know what they did? Took the same information and gave it right back to me. Mailed it back. You've all seen that in videos. And again, all these times I've been to the FBI, you can see on videotape. A small composite will be added to the end of this video. You've seen me go to Washington. Met outside with 2 FBI agents, one of which followed me for a week. The older man in the back. Right. And they knew exactly who I was. Knew exactly what I have. This is a massive, massive cover-up to protect the corruption, the drug dealers, the corruption in our courts, our politicians. Who else would have that juice? So I want you to understand that the information I give Lullen, they have. Now since then, you've seen me put a video out, Key to the Vault. I told you where the cartels, the corrupt politicians are hiding their money. I am showing you through the banking department who is protecting them, and Commissioner Little. Guess what? Now that we've opened the door to Lullen, I sent him that information too. Completely conclusive. And remember in that video, you've seen that evidence. Again, I documented the evidence with you. Lullen had that. Now, you know what Lelland did? He gave us a letter. Said he transferred it to the FBI in Boston. We've already given it to them. You own that, Lelland. We gave him the information of the banking. We got another letter back saying he moved that to the FBI. Do you know what's funny with both letters? They were unsigned. That's right. How's that for a cover-up? President Trump, you nominated this U.S. attorney. We have the evidence to put these people in jail, to open up cases of corruption throughout our states, all our states. This involves the IRS, that's federal. Liberty Mutual, they're national. And the network of corruption in my state is the network of corruption that works through all these states, and they use the same means to hide the money. And last week, I gave you another building block, judicial mafia. I told you how this network runs. Watch that video. I name names. This is what the FBI is protecting. And I'm going to, you could see the list and the 50 million that they offered me. But I want you to look carefully. And I'm going to repost it so you see this. But look who is asking for releases. Divine Millimat, who we're in a court with, who are leveraging me, trying to put me in jail. They offered that money. The Internal Revenue Service, how many of you through the IRS wants a release? And what could it be for if it isn't corruption? The New Hampshire Banking Department and Commission. Oh, they want a release because I caught them with fraud. I've caught them leveraging me, and I caught them laundering money. Why else? So I'm asking everyone out there, watch these videos, even these clips. There's no question of their guilt. Their confidence and their arrogance is what's going to catch them. It's a different world. And one of the reasons why Lelland, which he's a corrupt son of a bitch himself, took that evidence, and they're fearful of the president. Now, I don't care if you hate President Trump or you love President Trump. I am telling you, he's making them nervous. And at this moment, we can turn around, and he talks about draining the swamp. He's calling the drug a national epidemic. Well, it starts here. President Trump, I implore you to investigate. Keep making them nervous. Please stay and watch some of these other pieces that I've added here. And you've seen how many times I've knocked on that door. Mike Gill, State of Corruption.
What I can't do is in advance say that a category of people working in the state of Massachusetts with marijuana are immune from federal prosecution. I can't do that.
The U.S. attorney says he'll take it on a case-by-case basis. He says his top priority is fighting the opioid epidemic. 2,100
people in Massachusetts were killed by opioid overdoses last year, not marijuana overdoses. So that is where my resources are going right now.
They want evidence? Let's give them evidence. Hello, this is Mike Gill. I got an arm full of evidence that'll put drug dealers in jail and corrupt politicians. Could you open the door, please? I still say they might open it.
Can I help you?
Yes, I have some evidence to drop off. Oh, we're assuming somebody's home. Oh, I know. See, now they're scurrying around. What the hell are we gonna do? He's here with the witness, evidence. We don't want to be on camera, right? See, the last time I was here, we made it through the door. There's a metal detector. When I wanted to show the two FBI agents the threats to my children's lives, they wouldn't touch the phone. Except for I picked it up, threw it through the metal detector, only have the detective catch it, and then pick it up and slide it in my pocket. They don't like fingerprints. Or answering the door. Do you know if there's anybody home?
I live next door. Maybe there's a bell?
I'm ringing the bell. Knocking on the door. It's a good thing it's an emergency. Nobody noticed? How about the appraisers? They only had 9 to 10 appraisers on each house. Where did they go to jail? Where did the lawyers go to jail in closing them? They were covering for Sununu. Sununu is part of that Ponzi scheme. And that's why, Shaheen, we're right about the rest of you. And if you'd like to see the text messages, oh, right. So you didn't text Mr. Abar. You didn't talk about FRN women, did you? Right. So we do have the evidence, and it is with the Department of Justice, and I demand that this committee has to review this, has to go into it. Who would investigate those banks? Listen, did you notice the drug dealers didn't want to sue me? Call me a drug dealer and see if I don't sue you, right? And everything I'm saying about you and you, I can verify, right? That's the play. There's no mistakes here. An insurance defender is the banking commissioner. Listen, I have fault consent orders from these people. They've offered me $50 million to be quiet. Now I have that. I put it on the internet. You'd like to see it, Mr. Sununu? Would you like to see it? No, I didn't think so. So it's all there. Liberty International. Right. All I have to do is be quiet. But they're protecting the people that are killing our children. They own the treatment center. This is involved. This is the laundering of that money. Any questions? I didn't think so. Now this is after 22 minutes. It was like someone said, fire. Oh, here we go, get ready. Are they coming down?
No one's coming down, so I'm told.
I'm sorry, what was that?
No one's coming down. They said you have to have an appointment set up so that
You getting all this?
That's fine. So that you
So it
can
is legal.
make an appointment with them. So
Make
they
an
can
appointment,
have
did you
a
call them?
meeting with you.
We said 1,000 times.
Sir, I don't even know what the problem is. I'm just telling
The
you.
problem is it's corrupt. And you're hearing this? See all the donations to Judicial Watch? This is what your money buys. You see where all those calls?
Contact you by mail. That's
No one's contacted us, and they're not going to contact us. Right. There you go. You see? So if you're donating to these animals, you're making a mistake. It's a lie. Now let's go to the Department of Justice. Millions of people see what I write. Yeah, so the Department of Justice, if you could. I have a thing on state of corruption, fight corruption. I have evidence here of a drug cartel, big Senate race. They try to murder me for this. So I need to see somebody right away. No, but we've called, and I told them I was coming down. But it's essential. Because this thing here about a hitman who's hired to murder me, didn't take the contract. The drug cartel, I've got their lawyers, I've got their money, I've got their banks. Listen, I own the largest mortgage company in the United States. All right, so I was also thoroughbred racing world champion. So I'm not some guy who fell off a turnip truck. What I did was I discovered this corruption. Through the banking department, they were protecting drug banks and laundering. So what I did was I caught that. And I caught back, sir. And it was placed in the drug cartel behind me. That's why I lost it. I am telling you, we have evidence that they tried to murder me on 3 different occasions. One on video. A 6'7" Russian nationalist broke in my room. Now I have the video and a contract on my life right now. Now I have got to give this evidence to somebody before I wind up dead. We've called 1,000 times. My videos go 4 and 5 million people have asked to see it. It's extremely political, but again, it's the cartel. You can listen to an audio of a guy who's saying that he's going to murder me. All I need is to drop this and give it to somebody. I'm going to wind up dead, you understand? Listen, the drug cartel, a fixed Senate race. The cartel fixed the New Hampshire Senate race. Bill Shaheen, Gene Shaheen, a Democratic president, senator, that race was fixed.
And so what state are you coming from?
New Hampshire. New Hampshire.
Did you go to the local authorities?
The local authorities are in on it. The FBI, Kakavas, is in on it. Right now, I'm in trial with the cartel for $114 million today. I'm not at trial. I'm here giving you the information. What I'm telling you is, you see on the website, State of Corruption, you see it in writing. I turned down $50 million. In writing, signed. Now who turns down, who offers $50 million for being wrong? I'm trying to do the right thing here. We have the worst heroin problem in America, New Hampshire. It's because our government is corrupt in the state. No kidding. Worse than any other place. And I have this. So if I can give this to somebody,
that's the thing. We just don't have like a drop-off type of.
But even if one agent came out, I could talk to him for 5 minutes and hand him to this. I mean, we'd be making a little history here. Just an agent, 5 minutes.